Hey guys, this is Minnie here, and today we're going to be talking about the commander skills you should be taking on your British CVs. Before we get into that, don't forget though to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, the British CVs are designed as dot CVs, as I call them, or damage over time. They possess low alpha damage on most of their weapons and are designed to start fires or floods and cause that damage to happen over a period of time to the ships to really hit those high damage numbers and disable enemy ships. So as you're building this out, your goal is going to be able to make sure that you're giving those damage over time chances as much chance as possible to be enacted. So as we're going to build this out, we're going to work our way through. Now, first thing is always with any British CV, air supremacy, or any CV in general even, air supremacy, make sure you get that 5% quicker aircraft restoration time to speed up how quick your planes get remade. Now, you want to take second improved engines. The British CV planes are notoriously slow, boasting the slowest planes in the game. And so you want to give them as much help as you can. So that 2.5% boost is critical. At tier 3 is where we have some options. First things first, as always, with any CV, survivability expert and aircraft armor are a must. Especially because since your planes are slow, you're going to be taking that continuous AA for longer, so you want to make sure you're lowering that as much as possible. Now, that's going to be, as always, that's going to be your first 9 points there. 1, 2, 3, and then continuous AA as your third skill, 4, 5, 6, and aircraft HP increase as your fourth skill, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to master those ones because those ones are non-negotiable. Now let's start talking about 4-point skills. A lot of the time, I see people recommending bomber flight control on the British CVs because with the British CVs, you have the carpet bombing mechanism where at the Audacious level, you're dropping 18 bombs that do low alpha damage each onto the ship, but have a decent chance to set fires. Also, the British bombers are ridiculously slow. And so a lot of people say, hey, that 5% is worth it. I argue it's not. I still cannot, on any CV, bring myself to justify 4 points onto bomber flight control to affect one class's speed that much. I don't think the 5% is worth it for 4 points. Like I said, you get 2 points for 2.5% for all of them, versus for one plane type, you're increasing it by 5% for 4 points. I think that skill's way out of proportion and not worth it. If it was a 3-point skill, we could consider it, but at 4 points, it's just, there's too much other good stuff to get. I do, on the other hand, recommend Proximity Fuse, because with Proximity Fuse, your torps hit like a truck. They're slow, but they hit like a truck. So on battleships, negating that torpedo protection and increasing the damage you do is critical and key to getting the battleships low, in addition to the flooding chance. As it already even says, CQE is not recommended because of the fact that you have got so few you've got so few secondary batteries, it's not worth it. Admittedly, I am showing this off on the tier 6 currently because that's where I am, but CQE is not worth it at the high tier. Enhanced aircraft armor is one that deserves a lot of discussion though. So this reduces, as we've talked about before, the damage from AA shell explosions by 25%. However, I personally don't run the skill on these, and here's why. Your planes are slow, yes, but you also do have still decent maneuverability left and right with your A and D keys to dodge the flak bursts. So on aircraft that even at tier 6 are ridiculously tanky, like consider the fact that at tier 6, these planes have almost as much health as the tier 10 German planes, if not more health than the tier 10 German planes, and they're tier 6. The British planes are the tankiest in game, so while you want to reduce the AA damage that's coming constantly with aircraft armor because you're going to be sitting in it for longer, you can dodge the flak burst well enough in my opinion to where I don't see enhanced aircraft armor as justifiable for 4 points. Some people will say, hey, I want as much protection as possible, give it to me. I don't find it. Hidden Menace, as we've already said, it's a trap, in the words of Admiral Akbar. speed of returning air squadrons slowed down, means that your planes sit in the AA for longer, makes it not worth as much. And then, once again, enhanced reactions. Unless you're running a fighter build, I don't see any reason to run enhanced reactions. And in my experiments in training rooms and such with it, yes, it's nice to have the quicker time before attack, but unless you hit that fighter positioning perfectly, um, most of the time, because it takes the arrival is so long, that if it's not a drop on a ship that's going to get attacked 30 seconds from now, it's not going to be worth it because the enemy CV's planes are going to dodge it. And even if it is a ship that's going to get attacked, with the 25% less action time dropping it to 45 seconds of fighter, the CV can just circle once and then come back and hit the ship again, so I don't see it as worth it. Now we go to the 3-point skills. Site stabilization, to me, I don't find that I like to use it or take it at the level here for the British CVs. I think they already have a really nice stabilization time. I don't see needing to speed it up by 7.5% as worth it on this because it's not like the midway where you want that reticle as tight as possible because it is so massive to start with. I find that it stabilizes a lot quicker here with the British one, so I don't see the 3 points as needed, but that's a personal choice once again. Demolition Expert, however, is a must. On your bombs, you start with a 26% chance of HE shells causing a fire on target for the bombs. And at the tier 10, the Audacious, it's a 36% chance before you add Demolition Expert. So to upgrade that from 36 to 41% is a significant enough buff to me to make it worth it because you're going to be dealing with not all of your bombs hitting anyway. And since it's still under 50% chance, you want to give yourself just that extra chance to get that fire started because you are so reliant on damage over time with these. Additionally, it jumps the Furiouses alone from 5% to 6%, so it's not a great buff on the attack aircraft, but to get the Audacious's chance to 41% is critical in my opinion. So I do recommend Demolition Expert. Interceptor, once again, until it spots hostile ships, I don't see it as worth it because as long as CVs can spot hostile ships, it's a waste of time to use the interceptors. Now, that leaves us with 5 points left to spend at the low tiers. Once again, torpedo arming distance is a must. At this tier alone, you're currently dealing with a 37 knot speed, and while it increases at the Audacious, it's still British torpedo bombs are slow. So you want to make sure you take the arming distance to lower it down. That's going to be worth it more to you than Swift Fish. While Swift Fish is tempting, once again, with only 2 to 3 being dropped and them being as slow as they are, you can't get them up to the speed you get the Germans. I personally do not recommend Swift Fish, actually, because I don't think the extra chance to hit a DD is worth it because of the fact of how slow the torps are anyway. So I think you can save the 2 points there and give yourself the better chance on cruisers and battleships with the torpedo arming distance, but skip the Swift Fish. Secondary armament expert, once again, you're not going to be needing that because you're not going to be in range where secondary batteries are going to be useful most of the time, so it's a waste of 2 points. I do recommend that you consider taking patrol, fighter, and interceptor consumable charges to get that extra one for each. And now that would leave you with 1 point. Now, I like to have the extra fighter charge on these ones because I'm so slow that I'm trying to give my other ships as much support as possible to keep ships detected and hit them because I cannot get back in there as quick. But if you want to be trying to get back in there quicker, instead of patrol group leader, you're going to take improved engine boost always, and you can combo that with last gasp, or actually probably engine techie, and search and destroy to give a little bit more. But the way I much prefer to run it and the way I recommend running it is I run a improved engine boost comboed with patrol group leader to get myself as much as possible. If you don't want the patrol group leader and you'd rather have the patrol radius increase, take search and destroy and then, like I said, take engine techie. But I personally prefer with my British having the extra number of charges to keep stuff spotted for longer. Now let's talk about the order we're going to build this in. So, as we said, first comes first. Air supremacy is your first point. Improved engines is your second point. Second 2 points, and then you grab aircraft armor and survivability expert for points 3 through 6 and 7 through 9. You only are taking one 4-point skill anyway, so we're going to grab that next, which is going to be your points 10 to 13, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And then you're going to grab DE. Now, I will say that Proximity Fuse and DE can be swapped, but usually for my captains anyway, I mean, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This is 16 points. Most of my CV captains, I'm buffing up pretty quickly, so I have the chance to grab these at the same time. But you're not wrong if you'd rather take DE before Proximity Fuse to get the extra fire chance and go with this as your 10 to 13, and then this is your 10 to 12, and then this is your 13 to 16 point skill. With our remaining points then, we're going to go for Torpedo Bomber, followed by Improved Engine Boost, and then Patrol Group Leader to end it. So once again, just order is going to be Air Supremacy, Improved Engines, Aircraft Armor, Survivability Expert. Your choice on which way you go of these between Proximity Fuse and DE, depending on how many points you have, / what your preference for playstyle is. Torpedo Bomber, Patrol Group Leader, and finally Improved Engine Boost. The reason for Improved Engine Boosts last is because it's better to train yourself to be able to attack without Engine Boost, because remember, you're not always going to have Engine Boost usable when you're going to attack. So better for yourself to be getting comfortable maneuvering and then add the ability to have that extra ounce of boost to get places than have the boost and not be comfortable using it. Anyway, that is my British CV build. As always, if you have any questions about why I build the commander skills out this way or any other ships, you can reach me on YouTube, or you can catch me on Twitch most nights streaming World of Warships, same name as the YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and this is Minnie, signing off.